Hi guys, it's Lisa Dante again, coming to you from that same parking lot in Central Florida. I am a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida, and here to have some conversations, to start some conversations. Yeah. I thought that today I would talk about the topic of transitions, because transitions are a big part of what's going on in a lot of people's worlds right now. Transitioning from working to not working, staying at home, transition from being in a classroom all day to having to stay at home with people all day, and just transitions across the board. Transition in our day-to-day routines, from being able to just go to the grocery store or go pick up something from Target, and those other big box stores that we're not supposed to name specifically. We can't do that quite so easily. We have to take extra measures to make that happen. Transitions. Transition is another word for change. And with any change, usually comes some sense or feeling of loss. And with loss, there's grief. We'll talk about grief a different day. Today I want to talk about the word transition, because what came to mind to me today in thinking about that was that stage in labor that any woman who's gone through labor is very familiar with. The third and last stage of labor is transition. And any woman who's gone through labor can tell you it is one of the most challenging. It's extremely intense. There are a lot of emotions that come. It's an overwhelming feeling. And it's usually a time when most people are really wanting to be done and wanting to get out of the experience. Unless, of course, they have had the positive experience of having wonderful medication to prevent them feeling anything. But when we're dealing with these kind of day-to-day circumstances that we're walking through right now with the pandemic, and sometimes other life circumstances that we find ourselves in that there's no escape from, we have to ride it out. We're there for the duration, sort of like when you're having a baby, and that baby's going to come one way or another. Transition. Some of the feelings that you have during labor then are this overwhelming desire to push, to make something happen, make it go faster. And you have the people at your side, whether it's a doula, a midwife, a nurse, or a physician, standing there going, nope, not now, hold it back. What do you mean I can't push? I want it to be over. I can't. Because to push at the wrong time means you're going to make it take longer and create more harm than good. So, what do they tell you to do? They tell you to breathe. Just keep breathing. Focus. Find a spot on the wall. Meditate. That's not exactly easy to do when your body is taking over and doing something that you have no control over. Transition. Right now there's a lot going on that we don't have any control over. And all that we can control on a good day are our feelings and our thoughts. And on those days where we are overwhelmed and we are caught up in the energy of the transitions that we are going through, the best that we can do is breathe sometimes. To just breathe and know that whatever it is that we're walking through, at some point we will be on the other side of it. Transitions usually are about moving from one place to another, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Something is moving. Something is about to be born. And we may not know what it is, but if we trust the process and breathe, we'll soon find out. Transition isn't easy. And it's good when you have people that you trust by your side to hold your hand and remind you to breathe, to hold your hand and put a cold cloth on your forehead, to be there to remind you that this is going to be over soon. If you find yourself in a circumstance where you don't necessarily have somebody there to hold your hand, to walk with you through the transition, then this is an opportunity for you to dig way deep, and ask yourself what you are learning in walking this walk, taking that journey with yourself. Boy, that's hard. Transition. But most women who have gone through natural childbirth will tell you that transition is that time when they go deep inside and their focus becomes internal rather than external. And something magical happens when they do that. That by going inside, deep inside of themselves, that the pain starts to disappear. And afterwards, there's very little memory of it. Very little. It's funny how the body works to take care of that for us. Those natural endorphins take over. Wouldn't it be wonderful if those natural endorphins would take over when we're walking through life transitions and we didn't know what was going to be, and we don't know what's going to be born on the other side? It'd be great. So, if you find yourself in a circumstance where there's no one there to hold your hand, or even if you're in a place where there are people to hold your hand while you are making whatever the transition is, something is being born, something beautiful. You don't see it yet, but it will be there on the other side. So between now and then, remember to breathe. Look at the blue sky. Look at the stars. Because the sky is always there. Take a moment. Breathe. You're not alone. Take care, guys. I look forward to talking to you again soon.